We're up. We're live. This is Kevin.
This is Lauren.
We're season 1, episode 1, trying out the new setup.
Yeah. I
Microphones.
feel like my voice is so deep.
I do have it pitched down a notch because I don't like the sound of my voice. I could put it back to normal, but I think
It makes
no, it's in the right spot. We're good.
okay. That's just what I sound like.
It is.
That's good to
So,
know.
all right, we are trying a podcast. We want to do some digital marketing. I'm
Mhm.
sure we'll, at some point, if this goes live ever, we'll
We got to figure that part out.
we'll go into weird tangents and we'll talk
Yeah.
about things that aren't digital marketing related. But since we both work in the digital marketing world, we spend every day of our lives looking at clients and a wide array of things. It would be fun to talk about maybe what's new, what's
Mhm.
going on, what's changing in the world.
Yeah. I agree.
I also tend to dominate conversation, so I'll have to work on my listening too.
No, I am used to being very quiet.
If
I
this
got to
turns-
work on chatting.
If this turns into a one-way podcast where it's just the Kevin show, that's going to be bad.
I'll just be over here and I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just drink your drink and no, don't do that. For a topic, and maybe we can just edit out the whole beginning of that we just said because
That's
that was
fine.
horrible. But for a topic today, I want to discuss AI because everything in the world right now is AI, and I just want to do an example pod. And if this turns into the real thing, great. If it turns into a just practicing, that's fine too. But I think this is a good conversation to have anyway because we're having a lot of change in our world, and one of the things we're talking about when it comes to AI is all the different agents in the world. And what this could be, I'm not saying it has to, but this could be like a 5-part series of every Friday we come in, we talk about 5 different AI agent types or 5 different ways we're going through AI. Today's conversation would be probably the most important, which would be it all starts with a fundamental AI native CRM and database and marketing automation platform. Because if you don't have that, all the other AIs that we talk about doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like you can have a AI voice agent. You can have a SMS texting chatbot, social media agent. You can have a creative agent. You can have a mailer, customers X-ray pixel on your tag. But unless you're talking back to your CRM with it, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just at that point data. When we talk about this, I think the way to start is talking about what's the hub and spoke model of AI. And I think the hub is your CRM and your data and your customer workflows. That has to be the central hub. Then everything is a spoke off of that. Historically, and some of our clients kind of have this mentality, and even for a small startup, it may even be true. Your website is the most important thing. And I don't think the more advanced companies think that way. I think your website is a very important thing.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Agnostic on everything. But if you're a small startup and all you care about is your phone calls and you only get a couple phone calls a week, you only get a couple leads a week, you're going to be okay with just a website.
Yeah.
I can handle that. I can pick up the phone. I can email those people back. But if you have a sales arm and you're trying to grow and scale at any level, you probably at some point are going to think, maybe I should have this in a central data warehouse of a CRM where I can do something with this data. And the marketing people behind you are going to be excited about that because they're going to go, oh, data. We can actually look at data beyond our data. This is no longer an impressions and clicks game. This is a real revenue, average lifetime value of a customer game now. And we can start talking in more sophisticated marketing nomenclature that's, this is a real thing now. This is what we like to do. This is where we roll up our sleeves and get real into it.
Yeah.
So that is the genesis of maybe this podcast. We could call it one of whatever. We'll see where it goes.
Part 1.
One of the things that and this is me doing too much talking. I'm just going to throw it to you.
Okay.
You can share. One of the things that we're working with is HighLevel CRM and playing with that. So I want to ask you how you think it's going, and do you have any thoughts or tips for people listening that might want to get into the AI world but don't really have a solid CRM? What are the things that they need to be looking for, in your opinion? Again, not sponsored by. You can really do a lot. Everybody, whether you're doing HubSpot, Zoho, Pardot, Salesforce, pick one, whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you like one over the other? Is there a reason or something that you think is most important when you're considering that?
Well, I don't have as much experience with HubSpot. I haven't really been in it a lot. I think recently we've had a big client use HubSpot, and so that's kind of been my little tiny bit of exposure to it. But we have a lot of smaller clients that come in that don't really know what they need on the customer relationship side of things and or customer automation, whatever. And I think HighLevel so far, it's great because it really helps. It's basic in a sense when you have smaller companies come to it. I think it's easier to use and it gives you the basics you need and then you can build off of it. And that's kind of where AI comes in. The clients don't necessarily know what they need when they first start with a CRM platform. I think it gives them a jumping off point and gives them the opportunity to.
Yeah. I think basic is an interesting word. I think when people talk about AI, they try to do everything but sound basic. And they try to make it fancier than it is and more complex than it is. And the system itself, the software is not basic. It can do way more and a lot of other things that other systems can't do, but they present it and they segment the solutions and the setup in a way that's, oh yeah, this is compartmentalized. In the back end, there's a bunch of things going on where it's all connected and it works at a level above other softwares.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh yeah, I need to connect my phone system. Let's do phone stuff. I need to connect my email system. Let's do email stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's my chat widget code. Let's install that. I need to do text messaging. There's that A2P verification that I have to run through the government so I'm compliant and I don't just get hit with spam laws or whatever. And I need to go through, okay, got it. I can do that. So there's a lot of basic steps that need to happen to be fully up and operational and running at the level that, quite honestly, most companies are not, but it's not that hard either. It's basic. Right. So I like the basic approach to it, because if you're the smartest person in the room trying to sell AI, sometimes you make it sound like it's more, and you try to overwhelm people and go, this is so cool. This is the coolest thing ever. It can do this and that. This is the future. And maybe it is, but you don't have to over package it to be like, no, just break it down. Give people what they want. And if they don't want it, save it for later.
Yeah.
It's in the system though. And that's the other part that people don't shop when they're shopping for things. When it comes to technology, they're like, oh, I just wanted a text messaging platform. So I bought the first thing I saw off the street and it's only $8 a month plus, a penny a text or something. And you're like, okay, great. But does it connect to anything? They're like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, so how do you know who's answering those texts and what do they click on and what pages of their website, and are they adding to cart? Are they buying? Are they just clicking around and leaving? How effective is this text messaging software that you have? And is it working? I don't know. It's just the first one that I saw at the top of Google and I clicked on it. That's how some people have shopped. And now that AI is here, they're like, crap, I bought the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose my number, but I don't want to be left behind either. So you have to either buy a new number and set it all up and redo it and kind of hold on to some sort of legacy plan or slowly migrate, or you got to just rip the Band-Aid off and dump the number and start over again and go, yeah, this is better. I may lose 3 texts or something, but I'm not going to worry about those. That is the biggest hurdle for a lot of companies that are established. I think it's important to talk about. If you're already waist deep or chest deep in HubSpot, Marketo, some of these older, more established platforms, and you're like, but I already got my 30,000, 100,000 contacts uploaded in the system. What am I going to do with them? Again, basic.
Mhm.
Export,
Upload.
move.
Yeah.
You don't need a platform that's not working for you in the way that it needs to work for you.
Yeah.
You're not losing history when it comes to a database of, really, it's kind of like ones and zeros.
Yeah.
But it's like name, email, phone, what form did they fill out? Did they answer this question? How do they answer it? It's all in the system. So I don't think people should be tied or feel hamstrung to a platform that they bought 2 or 3 years ago if it is the wrong platform. That might be one of the most important things out of this whole podcast is that.
Yeah.
Is if you're on the wrong software and it's, oh yeah, and we also do AI now. It wasn't built with DNA of AI and they're not thinking. Well, nothing's always been AI because AI is new, but I think one of the things is with SEO, we get this a lot. I'm going to tangent into SEO for a minute. People are like, I built a website. Can you SEO it for me? And that's
so broad.
It's so funny because you're like, I could probably do some things. Yeah. But you didn't build a website with SEO in mind.
Right.
What were you thinking 6 months ago? You should
Yeah.
have called me. You should have called me a long time before this thing went live. That's going to be the problem with AI. People are going to be like, oh, I bought HubSpot. Can you AI it for me now? And you're like, no, you should have thought about this before you invested $30,000 in HubSpot fees and costs and onboarding and sign a 12-month contract. And then you go, oh yeah, also AI. Yeah. That's just not the way to shop it. So the most important thing maybe out of this whole thing we've been talking for 13 minutes on is when you shop technology, even if you're not going to use all the bells and whistles, it's nice to have a platform with all the bells and whistles and they can scale with you and grow with you. And if you use it, great. Add on the fees, charge me an extra penny a text or email or chat, because if I'm using it, it means it's working. My company's growing. I'm not going to worry about the penny that it cost me if I'm going to make $1,000 sale out of this email marketing campaign. So have one that grows and scales.
That's what I think one of the reasons I like HighLevel is because you can walk, you can run, you can kind of just do whatever you need to do for your business. If you're a small business and all you need is one thing, that's fine. And it also gives you an idea of all the possibilities that are out there. And I think a lot of people don't think about things that they need. I don't think, you call your doctor's office and they have a phone tree on the phone. Press this number, press that number. And I don't think we ever think about the fact that somewhere there is CRM backing that up. There's a workflow. There's a whole system there. And I think clients don't realize they can do that for their business too. So there's a lot of possibilities.
Is there a future where I answer all the questions on the website and then I show up at my doctor's appointment and I don't have to answer the same questions I just answered yesterday on the website? Like maybe the answers in the CRM get given to the person at the front desk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why do they hand you the
right?
Are we still filling out? Admittedly, I don't go to the doctor very often, but are we still filling out? Never. Are we still filling out paper forms in the lobby?
Yeah, sometimes. But it's a good point. It's like, why am I doing it?
Why am I doing this?
There's no point anymore.
It's the same. Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
You caught me on that one. I was like, you know what? I do answer the same question 3 times in a row for some of these healthcare providers, and it makes no sense. Like, you have a CRM. If you have my data, stop asking the question. Anyway, side note. And you are talking about HighLevel a lot. We're not trying to bump up HighLevel, but we are using HighLevel. If somebody comes to us and says, hey, I don't have a CRM, or hey, I need a better solution. Reason we would offer HighLevel is we are admittedly a reseller of it. We can hook people up. It is a tenth of the price of HubSpot, and you anytime you can get more for less, why would you not want to pass that along to your clients and be like, hey, I got a solution that's awesome, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to do it. Let's just save all those fees for marketing and advertising, and let's cook in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important, just to note that we are pushing that as our solution. It does seem to be the best solution. We've shopped around. I've seen it. I've looked at them all. I know what Act On looks like. I know what Sharp Spring looks like. You've seen them all. You've seen one. You've almost kind of seen them all, and it's a commodity at this point. When software becomes a commodity, buy the best one at the best price.
Yeah.
And if you have to, here's another thing. If you hire any CRM software worth a damn, it is complex. I know you said basic earlier, but I call them Marketo whisperers or HubSpot whisperers, because they speak a certain language that not everybody speaks. They know the intimacy level of that software where they can do custom workflows, and they set things up their way, and they've done it 20 times, and they're just more proficient at it than the average person off the street will be. So you hire these people. And that's also one of the sales conundrums that we have faced with other people, especially in the past, where they'll invest a $2,000 or whatever investment in a software, and then they're going to be like, wait a minute, I have to hire a person almost exclusively just to run this for me. And you're like, yeah, this is not simple software. You have to set it up yourself and DIY it, or you have to hire somebody to do it. It's not just plug and play the way maybe the salesperson told you.
Yeah.
It's frustration. And sometimes we're downwind of that frustration as the advertising arm of, okay, now that I got a CRM set up, let's run some ads. And you're like, well, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you? No, I just bought the software. And you're like, okay,
here we go.
Here we go. So when you do think about a $2,000 a month investment, wouldn't you rather buy the software with the service provider who's going to actually give you the service to actually facilitate the things you want to facilitate and make the things you want to make? Or do you want to be like, oh yeah, that's going to be an extra $2,000 a month, so now my bill is $4,000, when the sales guy at the front end goes, no, the software only costs $2,000 a month. He wasn't lying to you, but there's no support there. You got to think about that too. And that's, I want to say a rookie mistake, but it's not a rookie mistake. Everybody does it. And I just wish they're a little more transparent with some of that. So I think software plus a service is the new business model for a lot of agencies. Everybody knows that their software is important. You got to have a good foundational marketing automation, CRM, whatever you want to call it, platform. That has to be what everything is built on. And that is phase one of this podcast of how many phases we're going to get into. You got to have it. So if people are coming to you as a company and asking for Google ads or SEO content or whatever it might be, you look at them first and go, we can do all those things, but is your house built on a house built of cards, or do you have a solid foundation? And if you don't have a solid foundation, let me slide this Stripe link over to you. Let's buy this software. Let's get you up and running with the basics. Let's get you solid before we start playing with the marketing of Pandora's box of all the things you can go down. You can do whatever you want from there, but you got to start with that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we should talk about? Anything else you want to add to this, Lauren?
No.
Okay. We went 20 minutes.
I feel like this is not bad for a first podcast.
Okay. We can wrap it at this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys stick with the next episode. I think on the next one, we'll branch out from the basic, which is the hub CRM we talked about today. We'll maybe go down the path of adding in an AI employee. AI employees are connected with this software. Employees can do virtual agents or AI, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. There's a lot of vernacular out there. But let's talk about that maybe on the next one. We'll get into voice versus chat and how the Knowledge Hub and building those employees and training those employees, kind of like you would a real human, happens. So stick around. We'll do that one next week.
Stay tuned.
All right. Bye, everybody.